you for being here tonight. I'm really excited for this call. So, right off the bat, before we get started, just so we're not complete strangers, I want to share everybody a little bit about myself. My name is Ivana Alba. I'm 21 years old, and I'm currently living in Naples, Florida. A little over 6 months ago, I was living the normal lifestyle that I'm sure most of you can relate to. I was stuck in school, having to be in college just to be able to make my parents happy. I was having to do a full-time job, having to work 30, 40 hours plus a week just so I was able to make ends meet at the end of the month. And was I making good money? Yes, I was. But what good is any of my wealth when I have no time to spend it? If I have to constantly be studying and working, I never have time to spend time with my family, my friends, or even myself. So once the opportunity was presented to me, I saw a vision that I was so desperately going to get the time and the financial freedom that I so desperately wanted. Because I hate to break it to everybody, but if you're not doing what you love on a daily, consistent basis because of school, work, or anything or anyone that's holding you back, you're never going to be completely happy. And with that being said, everyone, you have to learn and listen to people that have the results that you want. I want to introduce everybody to Christian Vargas. Right now, currently, he has over 19 of income. Made his first six figures at the age of 18. Has a team of over 7,000 people in over 50 different countries. In the UK, in Puerto Rico, here in the US, in Canada, the list will go on. Not only that, but he has produced a plethora of 6 and 7-figure earners. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to someone I'm not only grateful to call as my mentor, but a dear friend. Christian, please take it away. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ivana, and I hope you're having a great day out there in Miami. Say what's up to the whole squad out there at the Fort Myers TradeHouse.
Christian!
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, very faintly. Can you turn up your volume, please?
Yes. Let me know if you can hear me better now.
Yes. Can everybody hear him?
All right. Yeah, just go ahead and put a 1-1 in the chat. I want to make sure everybody can tune in. And I want to thank you guys again so much for taking the time out of your day to hop on this very important call, guys. This is a call that I promise you is going to change the way that you think. It's going to change your perspective right now on how it is that you actually produce an income and be able to live the life that you really want to. So, I'm going to go get started with just breaking down a little bit of what Forex actually is and how we actually make money through this big market. So, I'm sure you guys have probably seen charts or something like this, similar to this on social media platforms. Maybe you saw it on Instagram, Facebook, maybe one of your friends, the person that invited you on this call, probably got you interested by also posting maybe pictures of charts, talking about trading, talking about Forex, talking about catching pips, like all of that stuff, guys. If it's new to you, that's okay. It was very new to me just a few years ago. So a little bit about my background. I'm 28 years old, Christian Vargas, born in Mexico. I'm actually a first-generation immigrant, so I was not any privileged, person or anything like that. I mean, I come from very humble beginnings. My family risked a lot to bring me and my older brother over here to the States ever since we were 3 years old. And, ever since we came here, I knew that they had sacrificed so much, so I wasn't going to waste any time. I started just reading and learning as much information as I could. By the time that I was 15, I was already working and producing, an income for myself, living for myself, taking care of, my own responsibilities. By the time I was 18, I was already managing my own dealership. And, some of the things that I learned along the way, guys, is that money, just chasing money, just trying to become successful chasing money is not going to make you happy. You have to have a bigger purpose, a bigger meaning to what it is that you do. Being in sales for 12 plus years, I learned so much about other people. And I also learned about the things that I wanted and the things that I didn't want in my life. See, working in sales, you can have the opportunity to make a big, big, big income because there really isn't any cap as far as how much you can produce. based on whatever vehicle you're in, whether it's insurance, whether it's door-to-door sales, whether it's working at a dealership or selling timeshare, which I've done all of those. And, I excelled at all of these things to end up eventually becoming the person that trains other companies like Wyndham, Hilton, Marriott, etc., to do sales as well. And at the height of my sales career, which was back in 2015, at the beginning of 2015, guys, I found myself kind of really like questioning what I was doing with my life. I was making good money. I was living very comfortably. I was doing very well for myself, but I just didn't feel complete. I didn't feel like I was doing my full potential. I don't know if you might have ever felt that way at your job or in your careers or whatever you guys do, but I just felt like there was something more that I could be doing. I felt like I was destined for a lot more than where I was. And one thing that I really like took into consideration when somebody pointed out to me that you have to look into whatever industry you're currently in and look 10 years into whoever's working there. So find somebody, whether you're working in the restaurant business, whether you're working in the car business, maybe you're working, as a hostess in a call center, at a warehouse, whatever it is, look 10 years ahead into somebody who's already been there for that amount of time. And if their results are what you want, then stay there. If their results are not what you want, or if they're not where you want to be in 10 years, then you have to really start thinking about making a switch to do something that actually makes you feel happy and fulfilled. And so when I took, all of this into consideration, I asked myself, like, okay, like the money's great, but I don't have any time to spend with my family members. Working in sales, the busiest times are holidays and weekends. So that was the time that I was always at the office working. That was like my overtime. And I didn't mind because I was chasing money. I was making good, income, but I realized that time and money are not at all the same thing. You've probably heard that time is money, right? I'm here to tell you guys that that's a bunch of BS, because the thing about money is you can lose it and make it right back. You can't do that with time. And I can't stress enough how important this is to really like listen to, guys, because time is precious. It's our most valuable commodity. It's the thing that we never get any more of. And if we wasted not doing things that make us feel fulfilled, then we're only going to feel pretty anxious, pretty stressed all the time. And by law of attraction, you get what you think about most of the time. And so most people kind of fall into a rhythmic pattern where they're doing the same things every single day, waking up at the same time, doing the same patterns, going to work at the same time, talking to the same people about the same conversations, not really learning and growing or expanding their mindset. And so they end up kind of getting stuck in the system, which is what we call, working for corporate America, working for somebody else, not being able to make your own schedule or to be able to work on your own time, is where most of us started, myself included. Now, even though I was making multiple six figures from the system, I still had to show up to work on Monday. And I guarantee you guys that anybody who learns this skill set and really masters this skill set to be able to really take this on as a full-time career and make very good income from just trading online off your phones at the comfort of your homes, you realize that on a Monday morning, you would much rather wake up to profits on your phone from a button that you press the night before, instead of having to get up, get dressed for work. Maybe you woke up late. I mean, it happens all the time. So, a lot of people. And I remember whenever I was still in the system, I had to wake up. And for me, I'm a deep sleeper. I hated waking up. I had to put like 10 alarms, and then I would still wake up late, and then I'd still have to get dressed and get rushed. And sometimes I would have to like speed just to try to get to work on time so that they wouldn't like give me a write-up or fire me, even worse, right? And then I'd lose my job. And so all these things were just things that I didn't like. I didn't like having somebody control me in that way. And I wanted to start, living for my own schedule, like doing things on my own time. And somebody pointed out to me, they said, Christian, if you don't find a way to manage yourself, you're always going to have a manager. And that like hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, dang, I was like, that's facts, because most people, when you think about it, being an entrepreneur is not easy, because now all the responsibility is on you. Having a job is easy. Having somebody write your schedule up for you and tell you what you need to do on a daily basis is easy. But having to do this for yourself is a difficult challenge. And you really learn a lot and grow, and you're You build character along the way if you choose the entrepreneurial route. But I promise you guys, it's so much more worth it, because unlike the regular system, which is, you go to school to get good grades so that you can graduate, so you can get a good job, right? JOB, journey of the broke, to then work pretty much until the day that you die. The average person retires at the age of 65, 70 years old, but by then most of us already have, a million different like diseases from all the GMOs and things that we consume through food and other, harmful um, things that we just like take, like alcohol and cigarettes, and like these things are literally killing us and killing society, yet we still idolize it and make it a norm. You still see all the beer commercials all the time. Now, I'm not saying that you have to like stop drinking if you like to drink, like cool, but definitely take into consideration that at a grand scale, these are all activities that they've put us in, consumed us with, just to keep us at a low vibrational frequency, so that we never really ask questions or try to think outside of the box. That's why you're always getting hit with sex, drugs, and violence through TV, through radio, and because this is the same things that we continue to consume, this is what we continue to produce. Now, if you change your programming, you change the information that you take in, you're going to start operating at a different frequency, and you're going to start actually doing things that you never thought were possible, one of which is learn a skill set such as Forex. I can't tell you how many students I've mentored that thought at first they would never get this, that it was way too confusing, when in reality, the way that we make money in the markets is quite simple. We study and analyze the markets to look for potential opportunities to buy or to sell. Now, to dumb it down a little bit, because the terminology can get quite confusing, I'm not going to go too much into all the logistics behind this, but in essence, when we margin trade, we have the ability to bet on what price is going to do next. So if we think that price, for example, is going to fall, or also known, in the world of trading as crashing, right? And you hear all the time the stock market crash and this and that. And that doesn't mean that, it hit rock bottom. It just means that it came down for a short sell position. So if we analyzed and we saw that it was going to come to the downside, then what we would want to do is place a sell order so that we accumulate points on the way down and we make money. And so this is how it works. Let's just say that you sold right there at the very top and you took your profit right here at this level. And let's just say that this was a 100-point drop, okay? And it dropped 100 points. Now, here's the interesting part. And if you're taking notes, please write this down, because this is how you make money. So the movement is the same. And the only thing that changes is what's known as your lot size, LOT size, lot size. Now, a lot is how much you're risking per point. So remember I said that if that was to have dropped 100 points, well, your profits, if you had risked $1 per point, quite simply would have been $100. Now, if you had risked $10 per point on a 100-point drop, that would have been $1,000, and so on and so forth. So there's really no limit to how much money you guys could potentially make. At the beginning, it starts small, because to open up an account, you only really need, $10 is the minimum. So you can open up an account through a broker and now start placing bets on whether you think price is going to go up or down. If you think it's going to go down, you sell it, and as it goes down, you accumulate points, you make money. If you think it's going to go up, then you buy it, and it applies the same thing. As long as you're buying and it's going up, you're accumulating points based off of how much per that. Let's just say that you're trading here at $10 per point and it goes up 80 points. That's $80 that you could have made over the time span of maybe a couple hours, maybe the time that you were sleeping, maybe the time that you were at the gym, maybe, before you decided to go on a run in the morning, you saw the trade setting up during New York session and you went ahead and pressed buy. And by the time that you got home to take a shower, you were up, a few $100s in profit. That's the reality of traders. That's the reality of our students. This is the time freedom that they're able to enjoy. And this is why it makes so much more sense to simply study it, the markets, analyze correctly, and be able to make, your best predictions based off of our teachings, our concepts, our strategies, and use that to turn it into an actual career that you can live off of with no income cap. So that means that you literally could make however much you see fit, however big your account is, and you can scale that to infinity. Now, to show you guys how big the world of Forex actually is, let's just go ahead and look for Forex on Wikipedia. I want to point out a few things for you guys. So the foreign exchange market is the same thing as the Forex market. It's the same thing as the currencies market. Now, this is something that you've seen and probably participated in before if you've ever traveled or been in an airport. You see all these little like Forex booths or foreign exchange booths where you can exchange currency. For example, if somebody came from a different country, let's just say from the UK, then they would trade their pounds, right, their Great British pounds over into the dollar. And now the pound right now holds more value than the dollar, so they would actually get less dollars than they would pounds, and vice versa. If we went and we went to I don't know, Europe, and we exchanged our currency, it's always going to be a little bit different, and that fluctuation is what we trade off of. Those up and down movements that occur in the market is how we make money. And these are movements that are always going to happen for a number of reasons. There's a lot of variables. I don't really want to get into all the specifics, but everything affects price, from supply and demand, products and services that get traded from different countries in bulk, from news releases like Donald Trump sending a tweet that something's going to happen, or something, even bigger, such as like the chairman of the Federal Reserve has to say something. All these variables affect the market. We study all these things, and then we know where price is going to go based off of everything. We put it all together. We call that confluence. And once we've taken enough biases, we've taken enough indications, we've taken enough confirmations that the market is going to move in one direction, we place our order, and then we just wait for it to do one or two things. It's either going to hit our target and we make money, or we get in and we lose, but you can set how much you're willing to lose, so you never take a huge loss, or at least more than what you're willing to take. So if you've heard that this is risky, guys, I'm here to tell you that it's not the case, because where else could you go and be all in, but if you lose, you only lose a small percentage. This is the only place that I can think of that you can maximize your earnings, and you can have huge returns on investment that far supersede anything that you can get at the bank, from a savings account, a money market, a Roth IRA, mutual funds. All these things give you like pennies on the dollar as far as how much you're going to get back at the end of a year, while banks are secretly taking all your money and trading it in the foreign exchange market. Because as a matter of fact, the biggest players of this market are major banks. You can see that probably one of your bank is up here: Citibank, JP Morgan Chase, you have Bank of America, you have Barclays, you have Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. These are the biggest players in the foreign exchange market. Just to show you how big, let's take this into consideration. Citibank alone moves 12.9% of the market share. Right now, how big is the market? Well, let's compare it to the biggest industry that you've probably heard of in the past, which are sports, music, the medical industry. Let's see how big these industries are. How big is the medical industry? Now, in 1 year, the medical industry, right? Let's see. Let's see if we can see something. Okay, let's just say that it's $3 trillion a year just in the United States. So think of that. $3 trillion. That's all the money that's going out to paying doctors and nurses. That's all the money for pills. That's all the money for prescription medication, for any type of cures for cancer, for chemotherapy. All of that money in 1 year makes up, just in the U.S., on average, about $3 trillion. Now, to put that into perspective, the foreign exchange market moves almost twice that amount, not every single year or every single month, but every single day. $5.3 trillion is the average that goes in and out of this market in liquid funds. So that means that it's money that people are either making or people are losing. But that's a lot of money to go around. When I realized this, I realized that I had kind of gotten cheated my whole life. Why was it that me being at the age of 25 had never heard of the foreign exchange market? They didn't teach this to me at school. I'd never even heard of it up until that point. And when I discovered what it actually was, and when I discovered how much money actually gets traded every single day, I was like, wow, this is something I want to be a part of. This is something that I can definitely leverage so that I could, reach whatever type of goals I have without having to work and trading in my time, which is my most precious commodity, for money. Here, we simply trade money for more money. It's a very simple concept, and it made a lot of sense to me. But the catch is, in order to learn how to trade and become a successful trader, you do need to seek out education. Okay, think of this as becoming a surgeon. Now, you can't just go and operate on somebody, right? What does it take to be a surgeon? Well, a lot of education. Most people who would want to be in that profession would have to go to school for an upwards of 8 to 10 years just to be able to get a degree, have learned enough, to then go out and hopefully get a job in that field. Now that's a long time before you ever see your return on investment, and most people have to get into debt by that point, right? Sometimes a lot of it. And I know a lot of friends personally because, again, I'm 28. I remember I saw all my friends go to college. I saw a bunch of them get in debt, and most of them today have jobs where you wouldn't even need a college degree for. So for me, it made really no sense as to why a lot of them did it. But the reason, if I was to ask them and they gave me an honest answer, was more than anything to please their parents. So you're telling me that society is programming everybody to go get in debt just to please your parents so that you could be one of the first ones in the family, because most people, right, are immigrants in this country. So most people have that big weight on their shoulders. I remember my parents wanted me to be the first in the family to graduate with a degree and make everybody proud, but I was like, nah, I don't want to go get in debt, much less go and learn from people who don't have the things that I want. Because one of my mentors pointed out to me, he said, Christian, he said, go to school tomorrow. I'm not telling you to drop out, but go to school tomorrow, right? I know that you're all about college right now. Go to school and send me a picture of every car that you would want to own one day. Like, if you see your dream car, send me a picture. I want to see how many people there at that school have what you want. And so I was like, okay, cool. I went to school the next day and I really couldn't see a single car that I wanted. There was no Lamborghinis anywhere to be found. There were no McLarens. There was no, Rolls Royces. There was no Bentleys. And I started to think, okay, what my mentor told me makes a lot of sense. Because he told me, he's like, well, look, if you're learning from people who don't have what you want, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have what they have. And so I was like, okay, well, what if their experience and, they're just looking out for me and they're trying to teach me something. And he stopped me again. He's like, look, you're not listening. If people don't have what you want, all they can teach you is theory. And he compared it to this. He's like, think of, for example, if you want to get a six pack, who would you go to ask for help on what you need to do as far as diets, meal plans, workout routines, different habits to build up? Would you go to somebody who has never stepped foot in a gym, or would you go to somebody that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Of course, you're going to go to the person that has the results that you want, because the other person could only teach you theory. Right? And so I want you guys to really let this sink in, because if I could leave you with one thing tonight, it's to always remember that who you listen to is absolutely crucial. Do not listen to people that you love and respect, because the people that you love and respect might not have the results that you want, right? Listen to people who have the exact results that you want. And remember that if they don't, then you're only buying into theory, guys. And that's something that really helped me along my journey, because once I realized that, I stopped listening to everybody and taking everybody's opinion on things, because most of them didn't have what I wanted. And I started to just find the mentors that did, and I lasered focused into what they taught me, and boom, I was able to pick it up really quickly. So if this is something that you guys are really thinking about doing, you're really thinking about coming in and dominating in this industry of foreign exchange, where you have pretty much an unlimited income potential to be able to make, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures easy. Because some of our mentors currently make 7 figures plus weekly. So guys, the opportunity here to scale is huge. Now, I'm not promising you that you're going to get rich quick overnight, because you can't change your destination overnight, but you absolutely can change the route that you're currently taking. So if right now the route that you're taking is not leading you to where you want to go, jump out of that vehicle and hop into this one, because guys, this is the perfect vehicle, I promise you, for you to be able to find time freedom, and more importantly, financial freedom that will secure everything else that you want to do. If it's starting up, a new business, great. Me and my partners opened up a car dealership here in Dallas because that was another avenue that we wanted to go in. But instead of getting a loan from the bank to do it, we became our own banks by learning this skill set. And then boom, we were able to do so without any debt. So this is the lovely thing about Forex, is that it allows you to do whatever you want. If you're a single parent and you want more time with your kids, then what better way than to learn something from home and be able to spend more time with them, instead of have to go away and miss out on their most precious moments, which is when they're growing up. So this is something that has helped so many families be able to really live life the way that they want to, instead of the way that they're being told to. And so guys, I want to really hit on some of these points, because Forex isn't just something that is great and that works for some people. It's something that if you've never done before, you absolutely must try it. I promise you, $10 is not a lot to lose. Now, the education, remember I said, is the most important thing about this, because without education, it's like you're just trying to be a surgeon from YouTube, or just trying to wing it and do it on your own, and it's not going to work that way. If you want to be a experienced trader, it works the same way as going to any traditional school. And we have that. We actually have the best school on planet Earth to teach you guys. The good news, though, is that it's not going to cost you $3,000 like it typically would going to college and having to pay about $3,000 per semester like I did. This is something that is far more economic, and we did this and put this together for you guys to be able to give back, because one of the biggest things that we want to do is change the system. This isn't about being greedy, because there's plenty to go around. We're just leveraging the fact that we, for the first time ever, have a system that works, that duplicates very quickly, that you could plug into at literally the cost of a new pair of shoes. So this is something everybody can do for the first time, because prior to this, if you wanted to learn how to make money in a $5 trillion a day market, let's just say that you were at Starbucks one day and you saw a millionaire pull up in his nice McLaren and sits down, pulls up his laptop, and he's got charts on there, and you say, hey, do you trade? And he's like, yeah, I'm a trader, I've been trading for X amount of years or whatever. And then you're like, hey, teach me how to trade. Well, put yourself in that person's shoes. Would you take time out of your day, now that you've found complete abundance, to just teach somebody for free? Probably not, because you had to pay, you had to invest your own time, your own money to do so. So that wouldn't be a nice exchange of value. You would probably be like, you know what, if you pay me 5,000, 10,000, then I'll teach you a little bit of what I know. And previous to our program, that was really the only way to start learning how to trade in this market. So guys, for the first time ever, about 3.5 years ago, we were introduced to something that really changed the whole game up for everything. Now this platform is called iMarkets Live. And iMarkets Live is the school that we all use to learn from and to teach other people this amazing skill set. Now, I want to start by showing you who the creators of this platform are. It's very important to notice, because I want y'all to know we're absolutely working with the best of the best. Christopher Terry and his wife, Isis de la Torre, these people right here are like the most renowned traders in Wall Street. As a matter of fact, Isis, she's like the only woman that runs Wall Street. She dominated a male-dominated industry and paved the way for so many women to follow suit. Along with her husband, Christopher Terry, they created this amazing platform to teach people the skill set that they've used to be able to acquire their freedom. And Christopher Terry, being the most humble person, as a CEO that I've ever met, decided to do this at a price that's affordable for everybody, not just in America, but around the world. Guys, we're changing lives in second and third world countries, where prior to this, it was impossible for anybody to tap into this information. And now, in just 3.5 years, we've produced so many results. We have over 100,000 people, active customers in this platform, learning every day how to trade and make money in the markets, all thanks to these guys. Now, to also help market out these services, right, we got Alex Morton and Ivan Tapia partnered with us. Now, Ivan Tapia is one of the highest income earning Hispanics in America. I mean, this person makes $500,000 plus every single month. He actually has been in an industry called network marketing for many years. If you don't know what network marketing is, guys, I suggest that you educate yourselves a little bit in this industry, because it is the future. It's getting paid to do what you always do. If you go watch a movie, right, and you like the movie and it gets you excited, you're probably going to share that with somebody. You're probably going to post it on Instagram, Facebook. You're going to tell your best friend, man, I just saw Spider-Man. You got to go catch it. It was so good. And you don't get paid for it, right? If you go to a restaurant, like today, I actually went to this really good restaurant where they had like I don't even know what they call it. It's like this like margarita that they make with like CO2 and nitrogen and whatever, and it just like tasted so good, and it was like really cool. And to see the whole process, I definitely posted it on Instagram. You guys could follow me and go check it out. It was actually really good. I don't get paid again to promote for that, but it's something that gets us excited. We as humans are constantly sharing through word of mouth advertising things that get us excited. This is something that will absolutely get you excited when you wake up to profits on a Monday morning, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, whenever the market is open, and all the physical work that you did was press a button on your phone. When that happens, I promise you, it's going to change your perspective on everything. You're going to be like, have I been sleeping under a rock? Like, I can't believe this is possible. Guys, I'm here to be that whistleblower and expose this to you, to let you know that it is absolutely not only possible, but highly probable for you as well to be able to see these results. So these are the people that put everything together. And the services that we offer, guys, are literally like top of the line. This is something that no trader's doing. You could go do your due diligence, and if you find a better platform, please let me know, because I am very open-minded. So it starts with the Iml Academy. The Iml Academy is going to teach you the basics, the terminology, the intermediate to advanced methodology to understand trading, to understand how to draw up a chart, to understand what to look for. But it's not going to be, just learning the academy, learning the basics, and that's it. You have to learn strategy. And in order to learn strategy, what better way than to see live education? Because I know a lot of people usually say, well, I'm not really good at reading something or just watching a video. I need somebody to kind of hold my hand. I need somebody to answer my questions as I'm learning. Guys, if that's you, perfect. If you've ever heard of Twitch before, you're in luck. We actually created a platform very similar to Twitch TV, which is the #1 gaming streaming platform on planet Earth today. It actually sold to Amazon for $900 million. So very successful. You've probably heard of people like Ninja, who streams playing Fortnite. My business partners and best friends actually grew up with Ninja, playing with Ninja, because they were pro gamers. And, it was really interesting because how everything kind of happened, the timing couldn't have been more perfect. As Ninja got really big streaming video games for Twitch, we recreated Twitch, but for trading. And we call this iMarkets Live TV. So let me show you guys how this works. And this is the best way, most effective way to learn this skill set in rapid speed. So it starts by going to the website, iMarketsLive.tv. Okay, this is like your new favorite TV period. Like, you're not gonna watch Netflix for the next 90 days or anything else, but iMarkets Live TV, this is going to dramatically change your lives. We have thousands and thousands of results to prove it, and I'll show you guys some of those results here in the very end. So let's go to Forex Bets. Okay, after you've gone through the basics and you're understanding a little bit more, I want you guys to hop onto my best friends session, Jordan Morgan and Zachary Hogan. They're going to teach you guys super advanced methodology to how our techniques have been helping so many people, quit their jobs, make more money from home, maybe take on another stream of income, or just be able to do this as a hobby. Whatever the case is, this will help you guys tremendously. Like I said, it's just like watching video games, because we kind of look at the market as an actual video game. We're just pressing buttons trying to win our trades, and although we won't win every single trade, this is the only industry where you get paid to lose more than you win. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you're using the right risk to reward measurements, even though you take some losses here and there, those wins that you get that are right are going to always make up for those losses, because the losses, we're always going to try to keep those really small as opposed to our wins. Okay, and so this is how people can scale up over time. To learn how to do that successfully, you have to watch my partners, who are going to be teaching you on a day-to-day basis live. You can ask questions about anything, and they're going to be there to help you along the way. It's like having the teacher right there in your room. And this is something that you can take on the go anywhere. So it's really, really, really awesome what we've been able to do just to help so many people win in the markets of trading in Forex, cryptocurrencies, commodities, even stocks. Most of this information is very similar. So after you get done with IML TV, or this is something you're always going to be plugging into, after you get done with the academy, I want you guys to tune into IML TV, okay, which is the live education. If you miss a session, that's okay. You can always go back and rewatch it. This is another tool that you're going to have access to that's actually going to make you money, like it's kind of trading with training wheels, because this is going to draw up the chart for you. Now, I know that when you're brand new, you might not know how to do a lot of these things. That's okay. Trust me. It took me a minute to figure it out. It took me about 6 months to really kind of understand how to trade. And then that still didn't help me become really profitable until after 2 years into this skill set. So think of it like 2 years, you get your associate's degree. 4 years, you get your master's. 6 years is like your bachelor's. 8 years, that's like your doctorate. So it is a long-term career, but as you trade and go through the motions and learn along the way, you're going to be scaling and making more and more money. I know a lot of traders that are on their 3rd or 4th year already breaking the 7-figure mark, which is having made $1 million+ simply by pressing buttons on your phone. Now, where else can you go and even talk about numbers like that? The average wage right now for anybody working a regular job is about $12, $13 an hour. Guys, you can make that in minutes here in the market. And I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it, but if you want time freedom, true time freedom, not the type that, requires you to clock in on a Monday. I mean, the kind that allows you to go anywhere, whenever you want to, with whoever you want to, that's what this is going to offer you guys. For the price of a pair of shoes, you know what I'm saying? This is a no-brainer. And so you have a few other services that are going to help you make money as you're learning. I mean, this is one, Swipe Trades, right here. This is one that I want to talk a little bit about, because here we switched it up. If you go to school, you're going to have to pay a lot of money before you see, again, any of your return on investment. Now, where else do you know that you could go to school and actually get paid while you're learning? I personally don't know any place that you can do that in, but here we created something called swipe trades, where it actually sends out a signal to every customer that's a part of iMarkets Live, and that signal is going to tell you whether you should buy or sell. It's going to be somebody else's idea. You simply copy, paste, and have the potential to make money from a trade idea that came from a professional trader. Guys, this is allowing people to earn money, to actually be making money in real accounts while they're still learning. So this right here is a huge game changer. I highly recommend it, guys. And one of the biggest things that I can tell you too is that working with us, the TradeHouse brand, is actually the best blessing for you guys, because we're the ones that created this thing. So you're going to be learning directly from the source. You guys are going to have that little extra of mentorship, because every person that's on this call, I promise you, I want to build a solid relationship with. I'm in this to help people win. I'm in this, to see other people succeed, because I heard a long time ago that you can get everything you want in life if you help other people get everything that they want. And it's absolutely true. And it also makes you feel fulfilled, because there's no better feeling than waking up to students messaging you saying, thank you, you changed my life. Because of what you introduced me to, I no longer have to go to work. I actually quit my job. I just bought my dream house, my penthouse, my dream car, etc. I've seen all of this happen over and over in the last 3.5 years, and this could all absolutely happen for you. You just have to make the decision, right? And what decision do I mean? I mean, like Russ says, pull the trigger, right? Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to come save you. If you're not happy with where you're currently at right now, then that is all a byproduct of every choice and decision that you've made, every person you've associated with. And if something's not quite right, guys, it's easy to fix it, okay? It just starts having to do things differently. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Just going to work over and over, researching ways to make money, but not doing anything about it is not going to give you any different results. Here, like my mentor said, you got to earn it every day. And this is actually the easy part. The easiest part is enrolling, right? I mean, am I lying? If you go to a gym because you want to get a six-pack, what's the easiest part? Signing up for the gym membership or actually going? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So get the easy part out of the way, because that is a small price to pay to what it could actually turn into, guys. The Platinum package, which includes Iml Academy, the live education, the scanner that draws everything up for you, and the personal mentorship, is just $225 for your first month, and then it's $164 a month after that. Now, we do have a scholarship program that everybody can qualify for, and if you want more information about that, just get back to the person that introduced this to you, because they can explain it in vivid detail how that exactly works. And guys, this is something that anybody can do. Okay, we got people that are 17 to 70 years old, so don't think that your background or your level of education matters. This is something that we're going to teach you that is brand new. And like Broad Proctor says, the illiterate people of the 21st century are not people who can't read and write. It's people who can't learn something, unlearn something, and relearn something new. So this is something that is new, guys, but I promise, whenever you do something and you step outside of your comfort zone, even though it's scary, that's where growth happens. That's where amazing things happen. That's where miracles happen. That's where people drastically make big changes to find out who they really are and what they're really capable of. And I can't wait to see all of you guys' success along the way. And I'm here to be a part of it, because I want to be there every step of the way to see if you guys need help with anything, because I can show you how to do what I've done already multiple times over and over and over, working with a lot of our students internationally. So guys, this is the choice that you have to make, right? Because nobody's going to make it for you. Do you want to do something today that is going to change your life tomorrow? And if you do, what is that? Do you want more money? Do you want more time? Do you want, the ability to be able to do things on your own schedule without having to rely on anybody else? I promise you, starting a business still puts you as a slave to the business. We've done this multiple times, guys. This is the best way to come up without having any inventory, without having to have any overhead, without having to have any external third-party fees or anything like that. It's just you, the education that you learn, and then what you apply it into the market, and then that determines how successful you can be. We have people all the time breaking six figures within their very first year. My girlfriend, when she got started, she was out in Connecticut going to UConn, and she was just going to school, studying, didn't have the money to sign up, and somebody told her, how bad do you want it? And that really made her think, okay, you know what, like I do want to change my life, so I'm going to do whatever it takes. And if you have that mentality, guys, how you do anything is how you do everything. She actually sold her GoPro just to come up with the money to get started and ended up making over $30,000 her very first 6 months into trading. So that is phenomenal results that anybody can have as long as you're willing to work for it. Now, you can't complain for the results that you don't have because of the work that you didn't do. So like the gym, you have to earn it daily. Right? And so this is something that I'm so happy and grateful to have introduced to you guys. If this was your first exposure ever, then I hope that this was very educational for you, not only to introduce you to the biggest industry on planet Earth, but introduce you to how easy it is to actually get started. You just got to get back to the person that introduced this to you, that invited you on this call, and ask them to send you their personal link. You're going to get started as a customer. Now, in IBO, this is an independent business owner. This is something that you get paid to do when you share it with other people, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't want anybody to have their focus there until we figure out how to trade and make money. And then, like I said, naturally, you share what makes you excited, and then I'll teach you guys how I've actually been able to produce over $25,000 a month in residual income through just sharing this with other people. Okay, so you get started as a new customer, and it's very simple. All you got to do is fill out your first and last name, email, phone number, and then you just create a username, password. It's that easy. You pick your package. You can get started with the platinum package, which is the $225. This is everything you need for your first month, and that's a lot of education. But if you're the type of person that likes to go above and beyond and you want to get all the bells and whistles, then by all means, go ahead and get the Elite Starter Pack. Then you just pick your monthly payment, which is either going to be the Elite $274 a month or the Platinum package, the $164.95 a month. Now remember, there is a scholarship program that everybody can qualify for. So you could potentially have your education paid for free. Just get back to the person that introduced you again, tell them to explain that to you a little bit more, and if you have any questions, they might get you on a one-on-one call with myself, and I could further break it down. But this is how easy it is to get started. All the following steps are going to commence as soon as you enroll into the TradeHouse and become a new trader in the making. We're going to turn you into a sniper trader, somebody that gets precision entries so that you end up making money just like the banks that I showed you guys earlier. So, again, thank you so much for your time, for tuning in. And, I wanted to just kind of like let you guys know that this isn't something that that works, that has helped a few people here and there. This is something that is changing the entire paradigm of how we see things, for what they are. Like, you don't need a job in today's market. I mean, today there's people making millions of dollars, kids that are just, talking about different toys on YouTube, and they're getting paid millions of dollars. So if they can do something different to have a different lifestyle, I guarantee you guys, you do as well. Now remember, you don't fail in life because of a lie that was told to you. You fail in life because of the truth that was told to you that you didn't want to believe. With that being said, I hope to see all of you guys get started with us very soon, and I will see you guys at the top. Thank you so much, and you guys have a lovely evening, and I will talk to you guys all very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're the poison that